A man with a charming smile, an irresistible promise, and a scheme so audacious that it still bears his name today. This is the story of Charles Ponzi, the mastermind behind one of the greatest financial scams in history. Born in 1882 in Lugo, Italy, Carlo Pietro Giovanni Guglielmo Tebaldo Ponzi, later known as Charles Ponzi, grew up in a modest family. Bright but restless, he dreamt of wealth and a better life. In 1903, with just $2.50 to his name, he set sail for America, believing in the land of opportunity. But reality hit hard. Instead of fortune, Ponzi found himself struggling to make ends meet, jumping from one low-paying job to another. From dishwashing to clerking, his life was anything but glamorous. But Ponzi was not the kind of man to settle for mediocrity. He wanted more, much more. In 1907, Ponzi moved to Montreal, Canada, and found work at Banco Zarasi, a bank that catered to Italian immigrants. It was here that Ponzi got his first taste of financial deception. The bank was offering absurdly high interest rates of 6%, almost double the standard rate. Ponzi soon realized the truth. Zarasi was paying old investors with new deposits, a house of cards waiting to collapse. When the bank inevitably collapsed, Zarasi fled to Mexico, leaving Ponzi broke and desperate. In a moment of desperation, Ponzi was caught forging a check, leading to his first stint in prison. But prison did not break him, it educated him. There, he met criminals who taught him the dark arts of financial fraud. After serving time, Ponzi returned to the US and stumbled upon what seemed like a brilliant, foolproof idea, an arbitrage opportunity involving international reply coupons, or IRCs. These coupons were used to prepay postage for international mail. Due to currency fluctuations, Ponzi realized he could buy them cheaply in one country and redeem them for a higher value in another. It was a legitimate opportunity, but what Ponzi did with it was anything but. In 1919, Ponzi launched his own company, the Securities Exchange Company, and promised investors a staggering 50% return in just 45 days. Word spread like wildfire. People lined up to hand Ponzi their life savings. In truth, he wasn't investing in IRCs at all. He simply used new investors' money to pay old investors, creating the illusion of a booming business. As millions poured in, Ponzi lived the high life. Lavish mansions, luxury cars, expensive suits, he was the embodiment of the American dream. Newspapers hailed him as a financial genius, and thousands begged to invest. But behind the glamour, his empire was built on quicksand. By 1920, skeptics began to question Ponzi's success. The Boston Post launched an investigation, uncovering that there were not enough IRCs in circulation to support Ponzi's claims. Mathematicians calculated that, at Ponzi's rate of return, he would have needed more IRCs than actually existed worldwide. The cracks began to show. The moment of reckoning arrived when state officials audited Ponzi's company and found it massively in debt. Panicked investors stormed his office, demanding their money back. The house of cards collapsed. On August 12, 1920, Ponzi was arrested, charged with multiple counts of fraud. Ponzi was sentenced to 5 years in prison, but his troubles didn't end there. After serving time, he was deported to Italy. Still unrepentant, he attempted smaller scams in Brazil, but his charm and luck had run out. He died in poverty in 1949, a far cry from the millionaire he once pretended to be. Though Ponzi himself faded into history, his scheme lives on. From Bernie Madoff to modern-day financial fraudsters, the Ponzi scheme remains one of the most infamous scams in the world. His name is now synonymous with deception, proving that if something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Charles Ponzi, the man, the myth, the scam.